Hello everyone, I'm Zaid in Silver. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing some amazing battles with Focus Blast Mewtwo in Master League. So the team is Dragonite on the lead, which takes care of Ho-Oh, Kyogre, Yveltal, Giratina, whereas Metagross struggles, and then Metagross takes care of those fairy types, and Dialga, whereas Dragonite struggles. And then we have Mewtwo on the safe switch, which does huge damage with Side Strike, and we have Focus Blast for mons like Dialga to one shot Dialga and then do some neutral damage on Yveltal and something like that. So let's get into the battles and check out this team in action. Into the first match, we have Dragonite versus Kyogre. Amazing lead for us, so let's see what opponent decides to do. Opponent comes in with his Primarina. I'm gonna come in with my Metagross, and here I realize that coming in with Metagross is not a good idea because opponent might have another fairy type in the bag. So here I have Mewtwo to take care of it, but it would have been really bad if I would have only had one fairy counter. So I'm gonna go for Earthquake to either guarantee the shield or do some huge damage. Damage opponent decided to shield the move. Now I'm gonna come in with my Dragonite, and here I'm gonna shield this move because it could be a blizzard, and I don't want my Dragonite to go down so fast. Opponent's final Pokemon is gonna be Togekiss, which is another fairy mon. Thankfully, we have Mewtwo. I'm gonna go for Side Strike. We can go for two more Side Strikes by surviving these damage. So I'm gonna go for another side strike. Opponent decided to let it go, so uh, and save his shield for Kyogre. I'm gonna go for another side strike to guarantee the final shield, and now I have my shield and Dragonite to take care of this Kyogre. Opponent has Origin Pulse, so the second move is going to be a Surf. So opponent baited out my shield with Surf, and now I'm gonna go for Superpower, and then I can do some fast move pressure damage to get the win. GG's. Into the next match, we have Dragonite versus Rayquaza. So this matchup is in Rayquaza's favor as Rayquaza can win the CMP tie on the second breaking swipe against Dragonite to win the lead matchup. So I'm gonna go for Dragon Claw just before Rayquaza makes it to his charge move. I'm gonna throw it and force the shield, and after that I will try to get to another Dragon Claw. And as you can see, we CMP tied and Rayquaza won the CMP tie. And now I'm gonna come in with my Mewtwo. I'm gonna farm down the Rayquaza, and now opponent comes in with his Dialga, and I'm gonna go for the Focus Blast. Focus Blast one shots the Dialga, and opponent's final Pokemon is Zacian. So that Focus Blast one shot was amazing. That's why I'm using Focus Blast Mewtwo. I'm gonna go for Side Strike against this Zacian, and now we have a Metagross to take care of this Zacian. I'm gonna use throw another Side Strike to force the final shield, and here I'm gonna let go of this charge move because Zacian I think has two charge moves ready to go. So I will just no shield this move because Metagross can survive any one charge move, and then I will farm down the Zacian for the win. GG's. Into the next match, we have Dragonite versus Kyogre. Amazing lead for us. Opponent switches out into his Zacian. I'm going to come in with my Metagross, and here I can shield one move, and then I can just fully farm down the Zacian. Opponent goes for the wild charge to lower his defense a lot, like two stages maybe. Now it's four stages debuff or two stages for sure. We farmed down the Zacian. Opponent is gonna come in with his Kyogre, and I'm gonna go for Meteor Mash bait. If opponent shields this move, I can go for Earthquake here because I won't make it to two Meteor Mashes now. So I'm gonna go for Earthquake. Opponent shields the Earthquake as well. So I have one shield advantage, which is really good for me. I'm gonna try to do as much dragon breath damage as possible. Opponent switches out to his Dialga, and here I'm gonna go for superpower, which is a mistake on my part. I should have just switched out into my Mewtwo and should have gone for the focus blast one shot. There was no need to throw that energy because that would energy would have helped me a lot against Kyogre. So here opponent comes in with Kyogre, and if this is not a blizzard, Mewtwo won't die. And here opponent goes for another surf, and now I guess Kyogre does not have any energy left. So I'm gonna go for surf and superpower. This superpower will cure the Kyogre for the win. Into the next match, we have Dragonite versus Ho-Oh. Amazing lead for us. This is where we want to see this Ho-Oh. So yeah, I'm gonna go for this Dragon Claw just before Ho-Oh makes it to Brave Bird. So the strategy Ho users uh, use is that They throw the brave word. Dragonite survives the brave word, but the problem is that if we no shield the brave word, then they just switch out into his Dialga and just knife down our Dragonite, which is not a good idea which is not good for us. So that's why I decided to double shield the charge moves from Ho. I'm gonna go for double back-to-back superpowers, and opponent decided to shield both of them, which is really good for me as now I can just focus blast the Dialga. But opponent caught the move on his Zekrom. I'm gonna try to get to a side strike, and here I will undercharge it because I don't want Dialga to farm down my Mewtwo and have a move loaded for my Metagross. So here Zekrom throws the move, which is really good for me as now I can farm down this Zekrom, and now I can just get to the Earthquake to one shot this Dialga for the win. So here comes the Iron Head, and I'm gonna go for Earthquake, and Earthquake one shots the Dialga for the win. GG's. Into the fifth battle of this 5 set, we have Dragonite versus Rhyperior. Amazing lead for us. We can no shield first breaking swipe, but we have to shield the rock. I'm gonna go for Dragon Claw. Opponent no shields the Dragon Claw, so I have to shield this move because opponent definitely has enough energy for the rock. It's like six or I guess eight mud slaps for rock. Opponent comes in with his Dialga. I'm gonna so superpower to get the shield, and then I will switch out into my Mewtwo. I'm gonna shield this move because it might be a Draco Meteor, and even if it's not a Draco Meteor, I still have to shield Iron Head because Mewtwo doesn't get to two Focus Blast if it does not shield Iron Head. So here the Alga outpaces us to the race to Focus Blast, and now I'm gonna come in with my Metagross. Opponent switched out to his Rhyperior, and we farmed down the Rhyperior, and opponent comes in with his Kyogre, and since opponent is switch locked, I can easily switch into my Dragonite, and then I can try to get to two Dragon Claws here. One surf from Kyogre won't KO my Dragonite, so opponent has to throw either Blizzard or Origin Pulse, and this is perfect farm down range for my Metagross, so that my Metagross can like farm down this Kyogre and have an EQ loaded for the Dialga for the win. Earthquake one shots the Dialga for the win. GG's, and this is my 5 set with this team. So here is my 5 set, and after this, I'm gonna showcase some more battles with this team. Into the next match, we have Dragonite versus Avalugg, a very bad lead for us. So I'm gonna switch out into my Mewtwo. Opponent comes in with his Giratina, and here I have to try to win the switch advantage because I have to align that Metagross against I have to align that Avalugg to my Metagross. So here I realize that there's no way I'm gonna win this switch. So that's why I'm gonna just let no shield this move, and I will try to farm down this uh, Giratina with my Dragonite. So here I'm gonna no shield this move because it Shadow Ball does like 50% damage on Dragonite. I'm gonna farm down the Giratina, and after that I'm gonna go for superpower to force the shield, and then I will switch out into my Metagross. And I hope that Giratina is the only answer to my Metagross. That's why I decided to no shield on Mewtwo. So it's pretty complicated, but it's now like getting solved. The mystery is getting solved. So I'm gonna go for Earthquake. If opponent shields it, I have two shield advantage, so I will use both of my shields against this Zekrom, and opponent does not have any shields now. So I'm gonna shield this move again, and I should outpace this Zekrom to the charge move. I will do 5 fast moves, and then I will go for this Earthquake, and so that now I can outpaced the Avalugg to the charge move. And here I didn't knew that how much energy Avalugg had, so I switched out after doing like 6 fast moves, and I caught the move on my Dragonite. I don't know if Avalugg wins the CMP against Metagross or not, but it doesn't matter because we caught the move onto our Dragonite, and now I can just go for the Meteor Mash against the Avalugg for the win. GG's. Here comes the Meteor Mash, and there goes the Avalugg. Into the next match, we have Dragonite versus Giratina. Amazing lead for us. So opponent will switch out into his Zacian. I'm gonna come in with my Metagross, and here the rule is to shield one move. Otherwise, Zacian can win switch. So here I'm gonna no shield first move, and then I will throw my Meteor Mash just to see that Zacian shields or not. And sure enough, opponent decided to shield, so I can shield here as well. Now I'm gonna farm down this region, and I will make it to a meteor match. I can also make it to one earthquake. So I'm gonna mention which charge move does more damage in the comment section. But here I don't know. You can, or you guys can mention which move I should have thrown onto the Giratina, earthquake or meteor mash. So here I'm gonna no shield the Dragonite because Shadow Ball does like 50% damage, and now I'm gonna come in with my Mewtwo against this Darnius. I can no shield one move, and now I can make it to three side strikes for the win against this Darnius, and opponent decided to surrender. So this is a good game. Into the next match, we have Dragonite versus Ho-Oh. Amazing lead for us. So I'm gonna stay in the matchup, and opponent switched out into his Zekrom. So I'm gonna go for this Dragon Claw to force the shield, and now I will switch out into my Mewtwo. And here opponent will throw Crunch, and I should be able to outpace this Zekrom to two side strikes. So I'm gonna go for my side strike just before I make back-to-back side strikes. And now let's see what opponent decides to come in with. Opponent comes in with his Ho-Oh. I'm gonna throw this side strike to do 50% damage. Ho-Oh generally no shields. One move, one side, first side strike from Mewtwo. Opponent shields up the second side strike, and here I can let go of this move and come in with my Dragonite and have my Metagross for the final mon. Final mon is gonna be Dialga, so I can easily make throw this Earthquake to one shot the Dialga for the win. I'm gonna no shield this Draco Meteor or Thunder. Earthquake one shots the Dialga for the win, almost one shots, and then I can let go of my Metagross, and then I can farm down this OO for the win. I can get to this Dragon Claw. Yeah, GG's. Easy win.